JayJay, welcome back to my podcast.
Thanks for having me. I really missed you.
I saw you just yesterday, actually. Because of the nature of podcasting, it's hard to know when people are going to be listening to this, but it's coming out on a Thursday, the day before that you have your final show on the air.
Yes, my final show on the air. 33 years on the air and 30 years straight at MediaWorks. Actually, I've been at MediaWorks for 33 years minus 4 months when I moved to Hamilton and worked on the Breeze for 4 months.
Yeah, initially it was called Radio Works, then it's been called Can West, and it's a bunch of different names.
Yeah.
Is this a retirement or a pause?
That is a hard one because I want to say retirement. And everyone keeps asking me, but I mean, I haven't even left yet, so I don't know. Like, I'm tired, so I guess I'll find out. Like, maybe, who's to say, maybe in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, I might go, oh, I really miss being on the radio. And that could very well happen. But I just don't know. I actually don't think I will go back to music radio. If I get an opportunity and talk, maybe, but... You know, I've had no experience in talkback, so I don't know. I'm going to say retirement. People come out of retirement all the time.
Yeah.
So
Jay-Z's Jay-Z retired about 5 times. Michael Jordan retired a number of times.
Yeah, so many sports people. Didn't Tiger Woods retire? Then he came out of retirement. So whatever.
Yeah, have you just stopped loving it?
Not really. Just... I'm so lucky. It's such a fun job for the most part, but it's a lot more stressful than people think it is. You know, it looks fun from the outside. It looks glamorous and all that, but it's hard work. And I'm really, really burnt out. I've really, really I can't think of any more creative ideas. I've done them all. I sort of get a bit sick of the format. So it's the same sort of routine of, you know, you'd talk about something and then you ask for callers to call in, and then, you know, then you might do an interview and it's just for one voice break, and then the next voice break you've got to do like a one-off little chat about something, and then the news is on. Like, I sort of I'm a bit tired of this mundane kind of, you know, routine. Yeah,
because people have that saying, they talk about radio and they say, oh, no 2 days are the same. But after 33 years, there are a lot of days that... I actually saw a TikTok... I wish I could credit her. Just some random in Tauranga.
Yeah.
And it was her take on music radio in New Zealand. And it was, do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yes, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I wish I could name it. And she says something like, oh, a personalised plate. Saw a funny one of those today. If you've seen a funny personalised plate, text us on 9696 to win tickets to Despicable Me 4.
Had a curry last night for dinner. A bit wet around the motu. Ki raro, hope, ki raro. Good morning, Bay of Plenty. I think you need to question your life choices if you've got a personalised plate. Really, you know? I think you really need to question yourself. If you have dated your cousin, give us a text on 3656 right now, and we'll get you on the show, get you some free passes to the latest Inside Out movie.
It's very funny. The way she takes the piss out of radio is just spot on.
Yeah.
But, I mean, no, but I can't diss radio because I love radio, but it's just, for me, I just feel like I've had my excitement and I've been a bit cruisy lately, so...
Yeah, like running on sort of autopilot, not creatively stimulated enough.
Yeah, not really. And, you know, part of that could be my fault, but also part of it, I just don't have the energy. Like, I don't have the energy I had the first 30 years of my career.
You know, I was talking to a mutual friend of us over the weekend who's also in radio, and he was asking about it because it does seem fucking crazy what you're doing. Like, at the moment, you are, I would think, the highest paid female in New Zealand radio.
Oh. First of all, that's personal. Second of all, I would not suggest that at all.
Who would be better?
Highest paid.
Kerry
Woodham.
Was she?
I don't know, but people on News Talk ZB would definitely get paid more money than me. And also, I'm offended that you think I'm the highest paid. That makes me sound rich, and we all know that's not the case.
No, we're talking about highest paid in a povo industry.
Yeah, it is a povo industry. Like, if you make 70k a year, you're fucking lucky.
Yeah. Okay, no, but where I was going with that before you so rudely interrupted me.
Well, I don't know how much people earn.
No, but the media landscape is changing at such an alarmingly quick rate.
Yeah.
There are so many like qualified and experienced people out there, be it from fucking News Hub or TVNZ or wherever, that are scrambling for positions.
Yeah.
And here you are just like willingly walking away, which a lot of people can't understand, I guess.
Well, I mean, everyone's different. Like,
Yeah.
why does everyone want to be the same? Look, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. Like, I need to walk away. I do. I need to. I could just keep doing this, and it's what I've been doing the last few years. I've been tired, and I've just kept doing it. And it just got to a point where I was like, I actually... Stop. Think about what you're saying to yourself. You're bloody exhausted and you need a break. I'm barely getting through this week. I barely am, because I'm just like, I'm so done. So you just got to listen to yourself. I know we all need to make money, but I'm inspired by so many people who have shared their stories over the years with me about being made redundant, or for some reason they can't work anymore suddenly. Or, they lose a lot of money for some reason, and it's like devastating, and people just don't know how they're going to pick themselves up. But they pick themselves up like really quickly, and most of them have no regrets. They're like, oh, that was the best thing that happened to me. So I'm relying on that for me. I'm relying on the fact that my head will be clear and I can think of things I can do to make money, because I don't need to make a lot of money. I just need to make enough to get by. But
Well, I think, I'm incredibly proud of you.
Aw.
No, I'll get emotional talking about.
Don't do it.
No, because I was telling this friend over the weekend, like you are a force to be reckoned with when you've got a project that you're passionate about, and you can have complete control and complete say over what you're doing. You're fucking unstoppable. And it's not just a radio thing. It's just when you've got a project, whether it's, I don't know, organising a fucking wedding, which I had absolutely nothing to do with, and you had everything to do with. Whatever it is, you're just an unstoppable force. So whatever you do next, I'm really excited, because I think A, I've got no doubt you'll be good at it, and B, it'll just be good to see that fire in your belly again.
Yeah.
And see you passionate about something, and come up when we. So you were at the Edge, and I started working at the Edge with you in 2001.
Yeah.
And later in 2001, we moved to Auckland. Back then, bear in mind, there may have been, in terms of social media, there may have been MySpace and Bebo. This may have even been pre-social media.
We only just got the internet around 99, I think.
And you had your own website, so you were like a brand or an identity.
Yeah.
Way before anyone else was doing this.
Yeah.
You had radiochick.co.nz, and we moved to Auckland, and we were living together, and you'd spend every single Sunday night with rolls of paper and like gifts out on the lounge floor, and you'd spend hours wrapping them, and you were just so passionate about it. And I feel like I haven't seen that JayJay in a long time. Where you're really driven about something, and you.
Well, Radio Chick was that just grew legs. Like, I won awards, and I had advertisers, and then I ended up having staff. It was crazy, and it just got a little bit too much for me to handle, because having a full-time radio job at the same time, it was a lot. So unfortunately, something had to give, and I gave up what I love doing. I love doing the website, but I love radio more. And the website was just fun. It was just like, it gave me something to focus on. It gave me a hobby outside of radio. It gave me I don't know, I just really loved it. And wrapping everyone's prizes and sending them out from me to them was just a really cool thing that I love doing. I love connecting with people on a personal level. So I don't want someone else to pretend to be me. You know, oh, this is from JayJay when it's not. You know, I don't know. That's why I was passionate about it. But
yeah, there is. That's another thing that no one would know about you. But you're in terms of radio, like you're a fighter for the listener. So like there'll be a lot of people like at More FM where you work now that are probably happy to see the back of you.
Oh, there is,
because
definitely.
If someone says, "Hey, great news, JayJay, every caller this week goes in the draw to win a pink ticket," you'll be like, "Fuck off, we're not doing that. Every caller that gets on needs to win a double pass," and you'll fight. Whereas most people, like, I'm probably the same as Flinny, who is your current co-worker. I'll be like, I'm getting paid. It's not my problem. You want to put everyone in the draw for one ticket? Fine.
Look, I have been fighting, and I've lost a lot of fights due to the financial situations of the media. But no, because I don't want people to have a shit experience. I want people to have a great experience. I want people to feel something. They listen to the show, they win something, they just have a good time. And what are they going to do? They're going to fucking come back the next day, or they're going to tell their friends. And that's important to me, because that's my living. That's my life. So it's important to me that I care about the people listening. And I mean, I'm sure, well, if you're on the air and you don't care about your listeners that much, you're a fucking fake fraudster, and you need to reconsider your career choice. Yeah. I get real angry about it.
So, yeah. Because what was the big battle you had last year? Like to do with Santa pictures or something? There was a thing.
Oh, no, I don't. No.
Okay,
look.
all right.
No, I did upset someone in the promotions department.
This isn't about throwing anyone else under the bus. Anyway, this is just going to show the lengths that you go to about, pouring your heart into the audience.
Oh, I don't actually want. Oh, okay. Well, we took Santa on tour, and everyone was going to get free Santa photos. And I was like, oh, cool. How are we going to print them out? What's the frame going to look like? Blah blah blah. And I was told there's no money. Everyone's going to get a digital picture on their phone or whatever. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. Not everyone has email, believe it or not, and we did find this out by doing the tour. It's amazing how many people do not have email or even a smartphone to send a digital photo to. And I just thought, if you're going to go and get your photo with Santa, you're a kid. You want to take something tangible away from that. You get your photo and then you hop in the car and you've got nothing. So I just knew that would make the experience a little bit better. And kids take it home as a souvenir. They put it on the wall. There's JayJay and Flinny's name on there. More FM, blah, blah, blah. So when I found out there was no money, or not that there was no money, I just heard that we weren't doing it. So I pulled my chair up next to someone who was in charge of that. And I said, listen, we are getting printed photos. And she just looked at me and said, no, we're not. We can't afford that. And I was like, no, we are getting printed photos. Such an asshole.
Did you get printed photos?
No. This is what happened. She goes, we can't. We've got no money. And she was really upset. And I had to go and apologise to her later for being a diva. But I said, well, we can't afford it. Okay, so I organised with Epson. We were going to get a printer. And we're just going to organise all that. The problem was it was such late notice. We couldn't get the turnaround in time. But, Epson were pretty keen to help us out. And I just thought, if you just had a bit more time and just asked around, you might not even have to pay for it. You could just get a sponsor or whatever. So anyway, we didn't get the printed photos. And I'm just like, I know it sounds like such a small thing, but to me, it's a big deal. It just makes the experience that much better.
Yeah,
and I am sorry to that person. She knows who she is. And I have apologised to her. And I will apologise to her again before I leave.
One of my favourite podcasts, actually one of the most successful podcasts in the world, is one by a guy called Stephen Bartlett called Diary of a CEO.
Yeah.
It's the fastest growing podcast in the world. And he talks about 1%ers. So his team's grown so big now. Their attention to detail is to the extent that when the guest arrives, they've looked into what the guest's favourite music is, and they'll have that piping through the ceiling.
Wow, okay.
So immediately, so say for you, you walk in here today and it's Wham playing.
Oh, okay. I've evolved from Wham.
Okay. No, but I suppose my point is there's parallels between what you've done and what he does. And I know that it's come at a great cost over the years, like people calling you a diva, calling you a bitch, calling you difficult, hard work.
Do you know, it's only people... It's not anyone I actually work with. Everyone loves me. Everyone I deal with loves me. It's just like the people that make the decisions can find that about me, because I'll fight against the decision if I don't believe in it, if I don't agree with it. So that's why. But management as well. Like I run into management all the time because we disagree on things. But at the end of the day, we still have huge respect for each other. And management loves me because they know that I'm passionate. I'm not doing it for selfish reasons. I do nothing for myself. I do everything for other people.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why, I don't know, I feel like this would have been water off a duck's back to you, but this really annoyed me last week. So you made the announcement on the year that you're finishing.
Yeah.
And it was everywhere. It was on News Hub, it was on One News, Staff, and New Zealand Herald. And after about an hour of the story going up, New Zealand Herald had to disable their comments on Facebook. I didn't see what the comments were prior to the disabling.
Yeah.
But how did that make you feel?
Well, I didn't even know about it till you sent me the screenshot, so thanks.
Yeah. Well, I felt really bothered by it. It pissed me off.
Oh, really?
But I feel like even if you saw the comments, whatever they were before they were disabled, you wouldn't have. You do have quite a good. I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Quite a good, like a thick skin, or just, I mean, I had Paul Henry around for a podcast last week, and I feel like there's elements of, him and you, where you literally don't give a flying fuck.
Like, you could waste so much energy and time on what strangers write about you on Facebook. Like, why? This is one thing I always come back to. Why do you care what they say? You don't know them. You don't know them. They don't actually know you. They think they know you. And so I don't care what they think. And I'm not here to please everyone. I don't expect every person in New Zealand to think I'm the greatest radio person in the world. I know there's only a couple of 100,000 people who think that, because that's how many listeners we have. So I don't expect everyone to like me. What I find rude is that if you've got anything nasty to say about someone, why would you say it publicly? Why would you put it on social media? What sort of person are you to do that? Like, all of my friends, all the decent people I know, none of us would do something like that. So you've got to think about the type of person that would do that. And I just don't have time for them. I don't care. You don't like me. Who gives a fuck? I don't like you either. Go away.
You're not wasting your energy going online talking shit about them.
Exactly. Just fuck off already. Sorry for my swearing, but I am in such a sassy mood at the moment.
Just really, do you feel like you do seem to be like lighter in spirit since you've made this announcement?
Oh, look, it's a weight off my shoulder, I have to say. Yeah, it's just a huge weight. I mean, I'm really sad, and on Friday it's going to be hard. But I've made the decision now, so it's happening. I can't stop it.
Yeah, so this podcast is going out on a Thursday, like 24 hours before you're going to make your farewell speech. Have you put much thought into what you're going to say?
Yes, I have actually. I've written already. Oh, damn, I should have brought it in with me.
'Cause most people will probably hear this after the fact.
Yeah.
Have you got it on your phone? No.
No. It's in my car.
What's the gist of it?
I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. It's just...
Are you going to go out with a bang? Tova O'Brien style? What did she say on today? They fucked us.
This is what I really want to do. I'm not going to do this. But I wrote my speech, and this is what I really want to do. At the end of my speech, this is what I was going to say, so I'll tell you, because it's not going to happen. There's something I've always wanted to say on the radio, and I've never had a chance. Peace out, motherfuckers! But anyway, I know if I say that...
It'll be funny, but then there'll be people that just go, it's really unclassy, and you could potentially undo a lot of work, a lot of good work you've done over...
And it'll cost the company money from people complaining to the Broadcasting Standards Authority, so I don't actually want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave a mess in my wake, you know. I don't know what I'm going to say at the end of my speech. I'll probably be blubbering mess. I'll probably be like, thanks for listening.
Yeah. I think realistically you will. I think it's going to be a more emotional day than what you're anticipating.
That's why I wrote some notes down, because I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to ad-lib this. But I don't know. It's going to be hard because I know how hard it's going to be for Flinny and Dave, and even Pledge. Tommy's been a bit upset this weekend. Those are my two producers, Dave and Pledge. They're just so upset. They really don't want our team to break up, because we've been such a good team, and I don't want that either. But you know, I have to do this. I just can't keep going at the moment.
Yeah, but it does demonstrate just how good you are.
Why?
The fact that you've been like on autopilot the last few years, and your ratings are still good. It's a very tough category you're in the radio awards, and you're in the finals, or you win every year.
That's true.
Is it just too easy for you?
And that's maybe why I'm sort of a bit bored. Okay. It's too easy. I don't know.
A friend of mine that's a real good golfer, he was saying, "Why the fuck is JayJay quitting?" And I don't know if this is a good analogy or not, but I said, imagine Lydia Ko, right, one of the world's best golfers.
Yeah.
Imagine if she gets told by the boss of the golf course, hey, in future, we only want you to do the putting, nothing else.
Yeah.
So she's just not being pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a bit like that, yeah. I think, like, working at the edge ruined me in terms of, you know, we could just be so creative, and we were encouraged to do the craziest stuff and just do what you want to do. And at More FM, it's way different. It's
conservative.
Very conservative, and they don't want, you know, to push boundaries, and, you know, everything's got to be family friendly. And even though I adapted to the role pretty quick, I just don't.
Can't express yourself?
I'm just kind of, I just feel like, yeah, there's heaps of things I want to say and do sometimes, and I'm always like, no, told by the producer or the boss, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. And I'm like, oh, come on.
I was seeing you through like an idea. You were like, no, couldn't do that. Couldn't do that.
Just can't. So, I guess I just aren't being challenged enough. But I do appreciate that I've been able to work in the afternoons, which, you know, what I was like doing mornings. Oh, so hard getting up in the morning, but I'm always tired. So even in the afternoon, I'm tired, but I've got way more energy.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the edge. So I was there for 20 years. Most of that time was with you and Mike Perdue. You were there how many years in total?
Since 94 to 2017. No, not 94. Yes, 94.
It's like 25, 20.
Oh,
anyway, I feel like there was a.
No, 27 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't count.
I feel like there was a very special moment in time because no one in radio is pushing boundaries or doing anything really creative these days.
It's harder now though, because social media has made it harder. Because everyone's got a bloody microphone. So whenever someone is unhappy with something, instead of doing the old-fashioned way of writing a letter to complain to the boss, they just fucking go on social media and spurt their opinion. So you've got to be, you can't upset people because
but this is all
you
this
just can't. You're not even allowed to have an opinion anymore because it might upset people. So
but all this is doing is accelerating the demise of radio as an industry.
Yeah, and I just think that the boss should be a little bit more brave and go, fuck it, let's just
if you don't like it, don't listen.
People. Exactly. You've got so many choices. You don't like it, listen to the breeze or magic, for God's sake.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, come on. You don't have to pay for radio. It's free and you can choose.
All right. Okay, let's go way back. So you've been doing this since you were 16 years old. Hey, it was before your 17th birthday. You were still at school in Taranaki where you started working at Energy FM.
Yeah, I started doing work experience when I was 15, and just on my 17th birthday, because my birthday fell around Easter, and Easter's when I started on air. Yeah, so I was called up for the overnight show because back in those days, in 1991, there was no computers or anything. Like CDs had just come out. We'd just recently switched from records. So there had to be someone in the station 24/7. There was no, you couldn't just roll music non-stop overnight. So there was an overnight host and she didn't show up. And like, who are you going to get to work at 1 a.m? None of your day hosts are going to do it, you know. And it's last minute. So Stephen Joyce, who was the boss at the time, he was obviously desperate. So he called me and he said, how would you like to go on air? And I was like, yes, please.
So you would have been the only person in the building all by yourself. There was,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy to think now because it's like, first of all, there's no overnight shift now because it's all automated, all with computers. But to have like a 16-year-old girl there, you'd want to have like a chaperone or security or, you know, just how times have changed.
Yeah.
What are your recollections of your first voice break or your first
Oh,
show?
my God. Oh, God, I must see if I can find the tape this week. Cassette.
Yeah, that's another thing that people wouldn't know about JayJay. You are a mad archiver.
I know. I used to be. I'm not now. I've kept like everything, but nothing's in order. I just haven't had time to. I mean, my photo gallery and album is an absolute mess now, but it used to be organised. But yeah, I mean, I've got heaps of cassettes and stuff from air checks, but you know, nothing from the last 15 years because since it's been computerised, stuff gets wiped every 3 months. So, and I don't have copies of anything, so it's a bit of a bummer actually. But yeah, anyway,
it's quite sad. That's one thing I really enjoy about the podcasting. It's just more sort of permanent.
Yeah.
So radio, whether you do something really good or really terrible, it's just sort of gone.
yes,
It's gone, and that's it. And then your 33-year career, like a lot of people won't even remember specifics of what you did. They'll just remember how you made them feel.
Yeah, and that is exactly what I love doing the most. It's made me feel something.
Okay, so
yeah.
but were you good early on? Because I was I think I was like a year or two ahead of you maybe. I was doing a breakfast show in Palmerston North, and in the radio industry, like there was a hum about you real early on.
Really?
Like about you being the next big thing.
Wow. That's really nice.
You must have felt it. Like you were nominated for awards early on, and
Yeah, straight away.
Hey?
Straight away.
Yeah, straight away. Okay.
I don't know. I just put myself out there. I just wanted to do well. You know, I was starting my career. I needed to make sure this was going to be a long-term thing.
Yeah, and you were really driven back then, energetic, enthusiastic, you annoyed, rubbed people up the wrong way.
I was very annoying.
Just ambitious.
Yeah. My boss, Stephen Joyce, pulled me into the office one day at Energy FM, so I was about 17 and a half, and he goes, look, we've just had a few people run the office say that maybe your ego's getting a bit out of control.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what? What? I can't believe this. I'm just me. I'm this bouncy 17-year-old. But that's the thing. I must have come across that way.
Oh, it is so annoying.
But I was just confident.
Yeah.
I'm not that now. Far out. Not that confident.
Well, there's that saying that youth is wasted on the young.
Oh, yeah, and that's the thing. But I look back now and I think, far out, what a pain in the ass I must have been. But hey, whatever. I'm here now. And my first voice break was awful. It was like my voice was so high. I was scared as hell. My heart was racing. I wrote down everything I said for about the first 6 weeks on air, you know, and it was just like, Energy FM, Taranaki's best music and the most fun. I don't know. It was just, anyway. It didn't.
Jay-Jay Feeney keeping you company.
Till 1 a.m. or
Here's
7 a.m.
Brian Adams, Summer of 69.
Oh my God.
New music on Energy FM. Taranaki's, something like that.
So close. And Stephen Joyce.
Have you got a tape of it somewhere?
Yeah, I'll have a look and see if I can drag it out before the end of the week.
Will it still play?
So I was going to ask you, have you still got that boombox that
Yeah,
converts to USB?
Actually, I do. Yeah,
I
bought a tape player where you can convert them to USB.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I'll borrow that off you.
Okay.
And I'll try and get it. Maybe I could get it in time for you to put this podcast up if I get it in the next day or two.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
And you can insert here. First voice break ever on Energy FM at 1991. 17 years old. No experience.
Taranaki's best music, 93.2 Energy FM, the station that's live and local 24 hours every day, with the Escape Club and Call It Poison. It's 1:10 on a dark Saturday morning. I'm JayJay Feeney, and we're rolling through more than half an hour of continuous stereo music. Along the way, Stevie Nicks, Icehouse and Madonna, but here's Sting, and all this time on Energy FM.
No future.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. But Stephen Joyce would have me in his office and he would listen to the tape. It's called an ear check. They ear check you. They listen to you, and he was giving me tips. And they weren't just about what I'm saying, because back then I basically had to read liners and stuff. It was more, he would go, add light and shade in your voice, smile here, pause here, and he would just give me all these kind of technical tips. And I'd put a sign on the in front of me that said smile. So when I'm talking, I'll be like, Energy FM. You know, so I listened to everything he said. I think I've still got his notes somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, because I had the same sort of coaching, and the big saying at the time in radio was tight, bright, and real. So you had to keep it tight, be upbeat, but also be real, have fun, be relaxed. But it's like you got to be relaxed within those constraints.
Yeah.
First and last time you got your boobs out.
Oh, jeez.
So I feel like this was this was like sort of a big part of your career, really.
Oh, unfortunately, I don't know. Like I always had quite great boobs, right? They're even okay now. I've had a breast reduction, and I'm 50, so they're not bad now, but not like the heyday. And I was.
So you're not going to get them out on your photo show for old time's sake?
Do you want to see them now? No. I'll just ask your girlfriend, Ash, can I flash down my tits?
No. First time, when did you first start? Because nudity was like quite a big thing when we were at the Edge, and I think it was it got to the point where a lot of people were like, oh, fuck, the Edge just love taking their kid off. But from our perspective, I may have this wrong, correct me if I am wrong, but it's like most people's biggest fears are public speaking, which we were doing, and getting naked in public.
Oh, God, yeah.
So to do that, it's like crossing a couple of boundaries immediately that no one would ever do.
It always pulled a crowd. Getting nude was always getting hits, always getting ratings. So it was just one of those things that you just did because you knew it was going to work.
Did it feel like after a while it becomes like diminishing returns? Yeah. But when was the first time? Where did that start?
God, I think I can't. I don't know. I can't really remember. It might have been the roundabout.
Or the body painted tennis?
No. Before that, there's this big roundabout in Hamilton because Founders Theatre roundabout.
With the statue of the sheep.
Yeah. And I think I did like strip honking.
Oh, yeah. So cars drive past, they're listening to the radio because it's live, and for every toot, you take off an item of clothing.
Yeah, I think that was it. Then
you get a truck driver that toots 10 times and ruins it.
Yeah, and I was down to my G-string like very quick. But the busiest roundabout ever. Like there was a traffic jam. Guys in bloody fluoro vests and hard hats bloody trying to get around. I mean, this is like early 90s. The internet was just new. There wasn't a lot of places to see nude women.
This was like free porn.
And I had a good rig back then. I mean, I've always thought I was fat, but I wasn't. I look back now and I'm like, wow, what'd I do for that body again? And then we did nude tennis. It was probably one of the most famous things we did at the time in terms of in the industry as well. So me and Butt Ugly Bob, who was my co-host at the time, he's since passed away, which is a bit sad because he was very fucking cool. But when the Davis Cup was in New Zealand against Switzerland, I think, were playing. So we decided to have a tennis match in the middle of the main street of Victoria Street, Hamilton. So we basically stopped traffic, and Bob was body painted in New Zealand colours, and I was body painted in the Swiss. So I had a G-string on, but otherwise, and the paint was just some shit cheap paint from the art shop that was cracking as soon as it dried. So it just got cracked paint all over me, and we were just playing tennis. Like not to any rules or anything, just whacking the ball back and forth basically, and this huge crowd there, and people just started tuning in, and people just tuned in because they wanted to know what the hell's going on, and the Edge just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger from doing stunts like that, like in public and stuff that no one else had the guts to do.
Yeah, because it was all about like creating noise, eh? So if you hear enough about something, it's like a TV show now or someone on Instagram or TikTok. If you hear enough about someone, you'll end up giving them a follow. Yeah. And it was the same sort of thing with radio back then. I feel like that would still apply now, but no one's got the sort of courage to do anything really sort of daring or interesting. What about Jason DeRulo? Was that the most
Jason DeRulo
memorable?
Tanned my boobs.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just still can't believe that happened, because I can't believe that Jason DeRulo or his publicist or whatever let him do that to me. Yeah. So I took my top off in the studio, like absolutely like it's on YouTube. You can Google it if you like. And he put these mitts on, these tanning mitts that we'd just been sent. It was like just rubbing just like he was having the time of his life, and I'm like, yes, this is amazing.
Yeah, I remember because we talked about the idea because this was you, me, and Mike. And we talked about the idea, and we thought, maybe DeRulo we pulled out of the interview, or he'll walk out. But either way, that's a good outcome. But he was into it, and it was called Secret Glow. And as he was putting it on, he was like, "It's not a secret anymore."
The magic, Jason. Okay. JayJay.
Oh, this is awesome.
Hands away, JayJay. Hands away.
Amazing.
That feels so good.
That's what I'm saying.
And you know the weird thing is, like, after that interview, about 10 minutes after he left, I started burning. So I actually was allergic to the tan. So I had to go in. I didn't have a towel or anything, but I had to try and find a scratchy old towel at work, and go and have a shower and wash it all off.
That's amazing. That's
But anyway.
so good. Are there any moments that make you cringe thinking about that come to mind?
Oh, fuck.
I'm sure if I gave you 5 minutes to think about it, I'm sure you could come up with a list. But anything that springs to mind?
God, my memory is so shit. There's just so many things in it, you know.
Yeah.
God, there's a lot of things that make you cringe. I think I generally forget straight away.
Well,
Can you think of anything? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I was really bummed out. This is one of the best things we did, maybe on your final year at the Edge, where we did a prank called a Simon Barnett and Gary McCormick on More FM. We won an award for that, but they ended up taking it really badly. And I learned that day, a prank is only really good if the person you're pranking finds it good.
Yeah, only it's like any joke. It's only funny if the person you're telling it to thinks it's funny. Otherwise,
We had no way of knowing.
Yeah,
and I thought they'd take it in good fun, but they didn't. And
I think we just they were embarrassed, and that's the problem. When you're embarrassed, when you've got egg on your face, you know, that's the problem. Is we embarrass them so much, and I feel bad about that. But
yeah, we won
the best bit of the year on radio for the prank, and there was so much work that went into that prank.
It was a well-executed
Tom
prank.
Cruz impersonator. It was genius, actually. It's genius. I don't really regret the prank, but I do regret upsetting people.
Yeah, but it really puts it, like, we won the award like 8 months after the call happened, and it's sort of like, it just felt like a hollow victory, because it's like, you don't want to upset anyone.
Also, I had started at More FM already. So I'm sitting at the table at the Radio Awards with Simon Barnett and Gary McCormick and Sam Baxter, their producer, who had burst into tears and told me to get a life. And I'm sitting there and none of them are looking at me when they say the Tom Cruise prank and the award, goes to JayJay, Mike and Tom, or whoever it was, JayJay Dom Randall. I can't even remember now. JayJay Dom Randall, obviously. And it was awkward. It was so awkward. So it was a hollow victory. I felt so embarrassed.
Actually, is that why you're leaving now? Because it's just been recently announced that Simon Barnett's returning to More FM.
Like, it didn't
is
want
this
to
a
say
protest?
It might have been in his contract that he refuses to work with me. And so I'm like, okay. No, I'm joking.
2014, would you say that's your best year or most memorable year in radio?
2014?
Yeah.
What happened that year?
The Radio Awards that year, you were hosting with Kerry Woodham. And it was also the first year that there was a couple of new categories introduced, the Kevin Black Award and the Sir Paul Holmes Award, and we cleaned up that year.
Oh, right. That was a good year. Yeah. I mean, but the thing about radio awards is, it looks good on your CV. Not that you need your CV for anything, because there's only 2 radio companies. But, you win the award and you feel really good about yourself, but then the next day, it's never mentioned again, ever. Is the only time it's ever mentioned is when Mike Hoskins wins it, because, the Herald owns
News Dog ZB.
Yeah, of course everything he does is like in the news, but it's basically just forgotten. And then the next year someone else wins it, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, that's one thing I found, and I was quite it'd be interesting to see what your take is in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months from now. Because I found it, you and me, our paths were very similar. I was in radio for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then you get out and you realise, you've worked so fucking hard in this industry that you're so passionate about, and no one else gives a flying fuck. I don't even know when the radio ratings come out now. I never know what the results are unless I get a pop-up, as you say, from New Zealand Herald, saying how good their radio stations have done.
Yeah, and they never mention us.
It's just if you're out of that that sort of orbit, it's just not even a thing. And what made me upset about that is, like, I put so much of myself into this, and you realise, I could have put this energy into far more valuable things.
Yeah, I know. In a way, that's how I feel too. That's how I feel. I feel like, okay, I've done 33 years, and what am I going to get? Nothing. You know, I'm going to get a shared lunch on Friday and, you know, a speech, and that's it.
It's good memories. And
and that's the thing, is like, you can't rely on other people to make it good for you. You have got to make it good for yourself.
Yeah.
So,
How has the radio industry evolved since you first started, for better and for worse?
oh God.
That was a chat GPT question, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah, I thought it was quite good.
I was going to say, it sounded a bit wordy for you. Well, obviously technology has evolved. So, you know, there's a lot of automation and being, like, when I started in radio, no one knew what you looked like. There was your face was nowhere. You were anonymous. You could walk down the street and no one knew you. But now your face is everywhere because of social media and all that sort of stuff. So you forget, like, when you're on the air, you're being filmed as well. I always forget that because the cameras are just on the wall, and I forget they're there. And every time I see a video, I'm like, oh my God, bad angle. Whatever, you know, like, oh, why did I dress up for work? Well, I can't be bothered. But technology has evolved. And, you know, it goes through cycles. Like, it was very straight, you know. You just do fun promos and people and you talk about fun promos, like going down the beach with the free Coke on the weekends and stuff to people who are out at the beach.
Oh, the Coke Patrol.
Yeah, and then it evolved into all the stunty stuff that we did, like at the Edge, and then now it's come back around again, and it's a bit more sensible and, you know, try not to piss people off. So it's evolved in that way. And I don't know, like, all through my entire career, people always go, oh, something new's come up, it's going to kill radio. You know, CDs are going to kill radio. Didn't kill radio. Music videos are going to kill radio. Didn't kill radio.
I remember when the iPod first came out, everyone was like, whoa, you're going to hold like 1,000 songs on this. Radio is dead. Your radio has always been very resilient, and very good at evolving and facing up to the challenges. What do you think is the future of radio? Except
I do think that what's going to kill radio is podcasts. I do think that. So radio's really got to take a good look at itself right now. And I think, like, we've lost a lot of the connection with radio. The reason people like listening to us is they feel like they know us, they can connect with us. But if we can't be honest and have our opinions, why are people connecting with us? Not because I'm talking about the oil light's been on in my car for 2 weeks. Give us a call and tell us what light's been on in your car forever. Like, no one's going to connect anymore. So why aren't they letting us be us and just say what we want to say? They hire us because we're personalities, but then I feel like we're being controlled now, and like, you can't say this and you can't say that and you can't be you. Like, I don't want to be a puppet. And I think that's the problem, is they've got to let us, like, be personalities again and connect with people.
Well, you look at the most successful people in the country, say Paul Henry, Mike Hoskin, they are unashamedly themselves.
Yeah. And you like or hate Mike Hoskin, right?
Yeah, so polarising.
People hate him, but they're still listening to him. Do you think he cares about the haters? No, he doesn't, because he's so good at what he does. He doesn't even care, and that's awesome. I love people who don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon sometimes when he gets out of the shower, he probably cries into his Versace towel.
He probably does. I mean, I hear that the news talk said B-listers can be a bit brutal, you know, with their comments. Like, we get some brutal texts and stuff, but nothing like they would get.
It's interesting. Yeah, I tend to agree. I feel like the future's probably more micro audiences on podcasts than the big audiences of radio stations. So instead of having more FM with 500,000 listeners, or ZB with 1 million listeners, or whatever, it'll just be a bunch of podcasts with 50,000 listeners or 20,000 listeners, or
maybe.
however.
Well, you look at on social media, micro influencers. So if you've only got 10,000 followers, you can be making a good living selling, pimping products.
Yeah.
You don't have to have 100,000 followers or whatever, because companies want to get people who are targeting their audience specifically. So micro audiences are a big thing.
Yeah, and podcasting is such an intimate experience. Like, I think most of it's probably done alone or with AirPods in or whatever. What advice would you give to someone that's thinking about getting into radio now? Run for the hills.
No, I wouldn't.
No, it's been very good to you and to me.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah.
There's still a lot of life left in the old dog yet, isn't
Hell
there?
yeah, there is. Radio is still, despite what I said before about podcasts, it's going to take a while because radio is still the number one consumed audio in the world by a long shot. And especially like with our generation, we grew up listening to the radio, so it's in our habits to listen to the radio. Younger ones, they're not really growing up with the radio in their room so much, so it may change a little bit.
Well, no one has a radio in there. I mean, I'm the exception, but most people don't have a radio in their house anymore, like an actual unit, do they?
Yeah, I don't even have one. But I think, like, for new people, I would just say, like, first of all, it's going to be hard work. It is going to be hard work, and if you want to succeed, you really have to put yourself out there as much as possible. Like, really find out where the boundaries are and push as far as you can, and just you have to do a lot of self-marketing because there's never any money to market your show ever.
But it's never been easier to do that than what it is now, though, with, say, various platforms, TikTok, Instagram, all that.
And I'd also say there's, like, so many different jobs in radio, not just being on the air. You could be a producer. You could be a writer, like someone who writes ads. You could be in the promo department and you set up, like, the big station events, or you sell to clients to get the great promos on the air, like trips to give away and stuff, or you could be a salesperson, or you could be the receptionist, or you could be in the podcast section of work, or you could be a programmer, a content director. There's so many jobs. So if you're getting into radio, like, I'd spend a bit of time really working out which one of those is going to be your most passionate, what are you going to be the best at, and just go for it and just have fun.
As someone who is, again, I'm biased here, but I'd say you're the goat. That term gets thrown around, but
this is so weird. Yes.
No, but in terms of like everything you've done, longevity, success, money that you've earned, impact you've made, whatever measure you want to take it on, I'd say you're the goat when it comes to female New Zealand broadcasters in music radio. What qualities do you think are essential for success in broadcasting?
You can't take yourself too seriously. You have to be willing to do things you don't want to do and share more of yourself than you want to share. You have to be vulnerable and open and honest. Those are hard for a lot of people to do. A lot of people don't want to talk about what's really happening in their life, but you really just have to. You have to just connect with people and just remember your listeners. If they're not there, you don't have a job. So look after them. Don't take them for granted. Make them love you. That's just, and then everything else is sweet. Not everyone at work has to love you, like the chick in the promotions department
with the
who I
printer.
had a fight over the Santa photos. Not everyone has to love you, but your listeners have to love you. Yeah. Yeah,
and I just appreciate your. One thing I've found doing this podcast for like 2 and a bit years now is vulnerability is sexy as fuck.
Is it?
Yeah, like everyone has flaws.
Yeah.
Everyone has demons. Everyone has shit going on, and if you can embrace it, it just makes people lean into you.
Yeah, it's really awkward though.
It is. It's embarrassing.
It's hard. Yeah, even I find it hard. And you and I have given, like, you pretty much know bloody everything about us. You do. It's always like we have to either tell you or someone else tells you, but it is embarrassing. It is hard at times, but it's just part of the job.
Yeah. Now, over the years, I've reflected on that a bit, and there's once you give stuff away, you can't take it back.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like in some ways we maybe gave too much of ourselves away. We just wanted to win at all costs.
Also, like, in real life, you and I are open people. We do share too much. Like I'm not someone who has too many secrets, and I don't like lying or hiding things. So I wear my heart on my sleeve. I will. This is me. Like you can get all of it. That's just the sort of person I am. It's the sort of person you are too. We do overshare accidentally.
Lying's too hard.
Oh, lying. Oh,
then you just got the shit to remember.
Yeah.
I was going to wrap it up. Should we do some just sort of quick fire? I'll throw some names at you. How are you going for time?
Oh, I'm all right. I probably got about another 15 minutes comfortably.
Okay.
We'll just see how it goes.
2008, shaving your head. Reflections on that.
I loved that. Okay, so I shaved my head. I raised $11,000 for the Leukemia and Blood Foundation, and so we said if I raised $5,000, I'd shave my head. We got Monty Beetham in to shave my head for me.
I saw a photo of this the other day. So this is 2008. Really? He looks exactly the same now.
I loved it. Like I was scared. But
yeah, you were petrified.
A lot of people are real fussy with their hair, but I'm not. So I was just like, well, it'll grow back. But I was worried, like, what will I look like? But then, you can always get a wig or a hat. And I just thought it looked kind of fierce. I did get treated differently for a while. Like when you go places, you can just, like same as when I had dreadlocks. When I was bald and had dreadlocks, I got treated differently by people.
That's right, the white dreadlocks in the 90s, early 2000s.
I was dating you, so it was like, it was like 99.
Right.
Yeah, it was around 99, 2000.
Probably about the time of like Limp Bizkit, Evanescence, Killing Heidi.
I don't know, I got talked into the dreads. But look, either way, people do judge you.
I feel like now you'd be cancelled for cultural misappropriation or
yeah,
whatever.
Probably would, wouldn't I?
Probably.
It's a bit weird. See, people take things too far though, come on.
Yeah, are you actually offended?
If I get dreadlocks, does that make me like racist or something? No.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But there was a big call, and that's what I was saying before about you being the goat. I mean, Polly Gillespie also had a phenomenal career, but I couldn't imagine her shaving her head. Kerry Woodham, I couldn't imagine her ever doing it.
Well, they would have all been offered the opportunity because I've been asked a few times to shave it. But I thought, well, I've already done it once, so I don't want to do it again. But, like, whatever. Didn't matter. I'm really proud that I did that. I wish I'd raised more money, actually, but at the time I thought that was a shitload of money. Yeah, it was cool.
That's cool. Clark Gayford.
What about him?
Well, just like his story that springs to mind when I say that name. So Clark Gayford, he's Jacinda Ardern's husband.
Yeah, well, I worked with him on the Edge Breakfast Show.
I think I took his
before
job.
You,
No, we overlapped for a little bit. I think.
No, you didn't take his job. Because he started doing like Cow TV or something in the South Island, Christchurch, I think, and then, or Dunedin. Then he came to work with us, and he was like I really enjoyed working with Clark. He was such a great guy, and we got on really well. And like we were young, so we'd get up to a bit of mischief together. Nothing naughty, like nothing sexual, not me and him, but just like hanging out. We'd go get drunk and do pranks and things. Like we had a fun time.
Oh, here's a blast from the past. Chingy.
Oh, Chingy! Oh my God!
Come on, one more boob story.
Oh, Chingy. Okay, what was his song?
Right there.
Right there.
I like it when you put them right there, right there.
Yeah, I don't know why I did. He said something like, oh, that's right, he came in for an interview, and his name's Howard. Howard is his name, not Chingy. But anyway, we were talking to him, and I was like, I can't remember what happened anyway. I said, what do I call you, or what happens if I see you at, Edge Fest? And he goes, you just say, what's good, Howard? Okay, and then he said something like, put him on a glass or something. I don't know. Anyway, I thought this would be hilarious. I wrote, what's good, Howard, across my chest and went and pressed my...
That's right, on the back of his porticom.
Boobs on his window of his porticom. And he and all his bandmates were loving it. Hilarious.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, best celebrity experience ever. You will attest to this. Look, people say Tom Cruise is crazy, and I think after our experience with him, you could probably say maybe he is. But look, he's just like such a long story. Look, Tom Cruise was in town. We had a bounty, $5,000 bounty. This is where we got the.
Yeah, this is-
when Simon Barnett decided to do a $5,000 bounty, this is why we got a Tom Cruise impersonator, because we were pissed off that he'd stolen our idea from years ago.
Yes,
Anyway.
this is the early 2000s when Tom Cruise was in Taranaki filming the movie The Last Samurai.
Yeah.
And he did like I think there was a pofity on arrival.
Yeah.
And then maybe a press conference and no other media.
I was at the press conference and I did ask him a question. My question at the press conference was, "What are you doing later?" So he remembered me from that. But we'd put a $5,000 bounty out there. If you get Tom Cruise to call us for 5 minutes, we'll give you $5,000. People just went nuts trying to get Tom Cruise to call us. Like, they were leaving messages in the letterbox of the house he was staying at and trying to get people on set to, talk to him. So in the end, his sister called us and she said, "We will get Tom to call you. We need to put a stop to this." But there's a school in Youre and they want to get a sun shelter for the kids, and it's $14,000. How about you up your $5,000 to $7,000 and Tom will pay the other $7,000 and you can go halves in giving Youre school this sun shelter. And we're
Unbelievable
like,
PR.
hell yes! Yeah, so Tom Cruise calls us. It's meant to be 5 minutes. Live on the air, 20 minutes later, we're chatting to him. 20 minutes, it was amazing. And then...
That's right. He just finished a night shoot. It was like 6:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he called us.
And he was just so great, and he was telling a story about getting fish and chips in Ohakura Beach and blah, blah, all this stuff. Anyway, so next minute, the news is all over it, and we go to Youre school and give them this giant check from us and Tom Cruise. Tom wasn't there. And that gets on the news and everything. And we were like, that is so cool. We want to thank you, Tom. So we... got thousands of people in Taranaki to show up at the Bowl of Brooklands wearing black, and we spelt out Tomanaki on the grass. So we renamed Taranaki Tomanaki. And the Daily News flew over, took this amazing photo. It was front page news.
Oh, by the way, for anyone under the age of 35, the Daily News is a newspaper. ask your parents.
And Tom saw it. He bloody loved it. Okay, he loved it. And he, first of all, he sent us like this giant bunch of flowers. Like, never seen a bigger bunch of flowers, right? Must have cost him $500. And he invited us to the set of The Last Samurai. And we weren't allowed to tell anyone, and there could only be me, you, Jason Reeves, and our promotions person in New Plymouth at the time, Bex. And we had to go in secret, and we were got a charter flight there. And we arrived at the set and Tom Cruise was doing one of his scenes, and it was just surreal standing there watching him bloody filming this Hollywood movie. And he met with us and we gave him some gifts and we got photos with him, and he was just really, really passionate talking to us, really thanking us for, making his time there awesome, bloody blah, 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 for the Tomanaki thing. And he goes, "How about you guys go and have some lunch over there?" So we went over to this big mess tent where all the actors are, bloody Tom Cruise's doppelgangers there. And there's all these food truck sort of things, and we had this lunch, and we were all sitting there going, "Wow, we just met Tom Cruise, like how buzzy is this?"
What the fuck just happened?
and then this guy comes over and he goes, "Tom Cruise wants to see you in his trailer. So when you finish your lunch, can you go over to his trailer?" And we were like, okay. So we go over to his trailer, which is this big white caravan-y thing, and it's surrounded by this little white picket fence. There's no security, nobody around, just us four. And we step up, and there's Tom just like doing these stretches from the ceiling of the... correct me if I'm wrong about any of this. And we're like looking around, we step into his trailer, he goes, "Come on in," and there's like nobody else there, just us and Tom Cruise. And everything is monogrammed with the TC logo. He's got this cream leather couch, he's got this fuck off massive TV that's bigger than this. And, you can see down the hall to his bed, and his photos on the wall of Penelope and his kids, and he had this Scientology chart, and just, it was buzzy, man. And he goes, guys, I want to show you something. I want to show you, we've just cut the first trailer to The Last Samurai, and I want you to be the first to see it." And we're like, okay. None of us are speaking, basically. We just don't know what to say. We're sitting on this couch. He turns up the volume real loud, and he's playing this trailer from The Last Samurai, which goes for about 2.5, 3 minutes. And we're just like staring at it. Tom Cruise is standing right here, and it finishes, and we're all just sitting there in silence. And he goes, "So what do you think?" And we just were like, It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Like, what else do you say? Like, I don't know.
I mean, it's no Mission Impossible 3, but it's okay.
Anyway, this is so weird. Anyway, and then we're just chatting a bit more, and I'm thinking, I don't want to be that person that overstays her welcome, and Tom kicks us out. So I decided to call it. So I was like, okay, well, we'll let you go. Okay, Tom, thanks for having us. And we just wander out. And we get into the car, and we're all driving down the road. Like, it's about a minute into the trip. No one says a word. And about a minute into it, we all just burst out laughing. And we were like, what just happened? It was insane.
It was crazy. And then I think a couple of weeks after that, they finished up the shoot, and he phoned us on the morning that he was leaving, just to say, hey, goodbye, New Zealand. So we were sort of like the platform that he chose to like say hello and say goodbye to New Zealand. It was fucking amazing. But it just demonstrated the power of the radio platform at the time.
Yeah, it was
if you
pretty
do the right
cool.
thing.
Yeah, that's so cool. And then he invited us to the opening of his movie Collateral Damage in the States.
Oh, Collateral, yeah, with Jamie Foxx, yeah.
Yeah, so he goes, oh, come to the premiere of this. And we're like, oh, okay. So we go to LA, but sadly it was just a media premiere and he wasn't there.
Yeah,
but-
JayJay was all dressed up.
Yeah, it was
all dressed up in her best Michael Kors shoes. And it was just like
so ready to
just
go.
a povo evening.
I was just like wishing I wasn't married to you at the time because I thought, I bet you Tom Cruise would definitely leave Penelope for me.
Yeah, that was Penelope Cruz. Fuck, we're going to run out of time, but
Well, people can turn off if they want. Okay, you can have 10
no,
minutes.
I'm mindful of you being somewhere else. What about Lady
Well,
Gaga?
what?
Do you
So I've
remember
got to
that?
be on air today. Do you think
Yeah.
I'm going to get fired?
No, but there's like so many celebrity names with amazing stories attached to them. What do we talk about? Kissing Dan Carter.
Oh no, I don't want to talk about that. Poor Dan, he'll be embarrassed.
Yeah,
I did kiss him on the lips. Nothing, no tongue. It was for charity.
Grant
But, I
Kiriyama
mean,
saving
he
your
would have
life.
forgotten about it, but I enjoyed it. Grant Kiriyama did say, look, here's the thing. Just get this book. It's called Life on the Edge. You actually can't buy it in stores anymore, but you can probably get an e-copy of it online. It's even got pictures in there, maybe even a couple of pictures of me, like half nude, who knows. But some great stories. And still, this is a good book, this one. I must do a sequel, but maybe when I have a bit of time in my hands after
What
this.
was the sequel we called it? You Want More?
Yeah. But wait, there's more. Like, like our friend Suzanne.
Paul Holmes?
Paul Holmes. Oh, God, no.
No, don't want to go there. Okay.
No, I pulled an amazing, legendary prank on Paul Holmes, but and he threatened to sue me for impersonating his then girlfriend. Look, I don't want to talk about it because it's just a long story, and also his then girlfriend was I don't know, I don't even want to say her name because she's embarrassed, and I wrote a chapter about it for my book, but I ran it past her. She didn't want to be reminded,
Okay, fair enough.
so I pulled the chapter.
Would you say that's the closest you've got to being fired in your 33 years?
When Paul Holmes, so this is in the late 90s, and he was the biggest fucking star in New Zealand, and I rang him, got him on the phone
At
when he was
News
on
Talk ZB.
Yeah, and pretended to be his girlfriend at the time, telling him that I was being harassed by media, and he, like, because it was in the news, I don't want to go into all the details. Anyway, he thought I was her, and he was telling me to don't answer the phone, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I hung up from that, and he hung up thinking that he'd been talking to his girlfriend, but he'd been talking to me. I can't believe he fell for it. I can't even believe I got through on the phone. But next minute, the boss comes in, and he's like, fuck. Do not replay that call. And then next minute, the newspaper's calling and everything. And then I get a letter from Paul Holmes' lawyers saying that I could be imprisoned or fined up to $10,000 for impersonation. So it was like, oh my God. I was terrified because I was only like 22 or something. But in the end, it was just a...
It blows over. He
legend-
was embarrassed, and it was a...
Yeah, and he plays so many pranks on people. He was so famous for it. So in the end, he was cool, and I've met him so many times, and he was fine with it. It just at the time it was just a bit awkward.
Yeah, and also your boss at the time, Stephen Joyce, who later went on to be like, was he Deputy Prime Minister? He was the Minister of Everything.
Yeah.
He would have been shit scared because he was just like starting his own radio empire, and Paul Holmes was the most powerful man in New Zealand
know.
media at the time.
Yeah.
Crazy when you'd never do it. It's funny how you do grow up and there's things that you do back then that you'd never dream of doing now.
No, but it wasn't. I honestly didn't even think it would happen. I didn't think he was going to answer the phone. It was just a joke. Like, let's ring up and pretend to be his girlfriend. And oh my God, he bloody answered. And then, oh my God, I had to go through with it. And I don't even know what she sounded like or anything. I just sounded panicked. And he believed it to be her. So all my pranks get me in trouble.
Well, you don't really do pranks anymore. I don't think you would now. Like if the co-host said to you, "Hey, we should do a prank on Mike Hoskin about this," you'd be like, "No."
Oh no, I wouldn't do it now.
Dumb.
No,
That's dumb.
it's because I'm mature now.
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm 50.
Yeah. What legacy do you hope to leave behind in the broadcasting world? What would you like people to say about you, or how would you like people to remember your career?
I don't know. I'm just happy that I've been able to inspire lots of other broadcasters. So many people come to me and say, "Oh, I used to, listen to you, and I wrote you a letter, and you wrote back to me and gave me some tips on how to get into radio and blah blah blah." Just I got into radio because of you. Like I love that, and I just want people to know that I really do care about the audience, and that's all that matters to me.
That's cool. Are you getting emotional?
No.
No.
I'm not going to cry.
Your eyes look a little glazy. Are you?
I'm tired.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, I suppose. Yep. Yep.
What do you mean? That doesn't sound very convincing.
I'm just tired. I don't know. Like, of course. But I just did what I did. I just did what I did, and I just am me. So some of it, I reckon, is just a fluke. I know some of it's hard work, and then some of it's a fluke. So I'm just grateful for the whole experience.
Oh no! One thing I've found, I've had like a lot of very different people on the podcast, including a lot of like real high achievers. And one thing I've learned is that like hard work is the only cheat code there is. Like you can say you've had a lot of luck or whatever, but it all comes down to hard work. And I think you've worked harder than anyone else.
No, I haven't worked harder than anyone else, but I work hard. Yeah, and I'm just passionate, and I just want everyone to enjoy themselves and have a good time and have fun listening to the radio.
What about 3 words? If people could have like 3 words to describe you, what would you like those 3 words to be? Like honesty, integrity, fun.
Fun. Generous. And authentic.
Fun, generous, authentic. Can't disagree with that.
You can add funny as well sometimes.
But people never get... JJ's thing was always, no one ever gets my humour.
No one
it's
does.
Like, if they don't get the humour, the problem is you and your jokes, not them.
I
Paul Holmes doesn't get my humour.
I just try to be funny, and some people don't get it, but I mean, what can I do?
Yeah. Simon Bunny doesn't get my jokes.
No. No. Oh, Simon, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations. It's been a hell of a career. As I said at the beginning, I'm really proud of you, and I honestly can't wait to see what you do next, because I can't imagine how terrifying it is for you.
Oh boy.
But
Friday's going to be hard, that's for sure. It was definitely hit home then, and I think what's going to happen is I'm going on holiday for 3 weeks. When I get back, I think that's when it's going to hit me, and I'm going to be like, fuck, what do I do? Where do I go? Oh, shit. How am I going to get paid? So I think it's all fun and games right this minute, but maybe talk to me in a month's time and we'll see. You might get some tears out of me then.
see where you pop up. All right. Hey, congratulations. Hell of a career.
Thank you.
The GOAT, the greatest of all time, and music radio at least.
You are so biased, though. Like, no one's going to take your opinion seriously.
No, it's going to piss a lot of people off. Sharon, I'm sorry.
Oh, Sharon. Love her.
No, you're great. Enjoy. By the time this comes out, most people would have heard your final show, I guess. But enjoy your last moments on the air. Maybe forever, maybe just for now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh my God. I'm starting to feel sick now. All right, over and out. Oh, no, wait. Peace out, motherfuckers.